Hello everyone! In part 1 of this module's lecture, we are going to discuss the importance of evaluating information. This week, you read several articles that discuss the history of fake news, information-seeking behaviors, the ways in which information consumers evaluate information, and methods that we can use to become savvy information consumers. As these articles highlight, information consumers are confronted with an abundance of information due to the increasingly digital world that we live in. This offers us many benefits, such as being able to have once inaccessible material available at our fingertips, to connect with individuals from across the world, and to even share our ideas on a larger scale. But as we learned in our readings, with those benefits also comes the need to evaluate the information we encounter. One of the ways to start discussing the importance of evaluating information is to look at the history of fake news. I'm sure that many of you have already heard of the term fake news, and while this may be a relatively new term to us, the spread of false information is not new and has proliferated throughout history as a result of technological advances. Joanna Burkhart summarizes why information consumers need to evaluate information in her article, The History of Fake News, when she states, "While the existence of fake news is not new, the speed at which it travels and the global reach of the technology that can spread it are unprecedented. Fake news exists in the same context as real news on the internet. The problem seems to be distinguishing between what is fake and what is real." Burkhart's insights simply state that our job as information consumers is to determine whether the information resource we encounter is real or fake. But do we, as information consumers, accurately evaluate information? There are several studies that you took a look at in this week's readings that can give us a glimpse at how information consumers evaluate information. A recent study by the Stanford Graduate School of Education found that students who are perceived as being savvy information consumers did not possess the skills needed to evaluate information. Rather than focusing on the source, purpose, or authority of the information resource, the students focus primarily on the content. While this is one way that information consumers look at information, this is not the only information-seeking behaviors that exist. A 2017 Pew Research study found that there is not a single type of information consumer, as the study identifies 5 typologies: the eager and willing, the confident, the cautious and curious, the doubtful, and the wary. There are a variety of factors that influence how individuals engage with information and can be classified within these 5 typologies, such as interest, access, trust, and time. While the amount of information that we encounter may not be of interest to our needs, or give us the time to look at multiple resources, or even make us untrusting of the resources that we find, it is important to take the time to evaluate the information that we come across regardless of our information-seeking behaviors. As you can see from the Pew Research Study graphics, the results of this study emphasize that 31% of information consumers want training so that they can know how to seek and evaluate information resources, and 37% of information consumers want to know more people who are knowledgeable about the information that they are interested in. So with the growing prevalence of fake news and the wide range of skill sets and interests when it comes to evaluating information, why should we as information consumers evaluate information? There are several reasons, with the first being to find the most relevant information for our topic or interest. This ensures the quality of our research, which ultimately results in our own credibility. Whether you are writing a paper for a class or researching something for personal use, it is important to use credible information in your research. Taking the time to critically evaluate sources will help you make sure that you are sharing credible information. So now the question becomes, how do you evaluate a resource? We'll take a look at this in part 2 of this module's lecture series. I hope you all have enjoyed this lecture, and I want to share the works cited with you. If you still have any questions, I would encourage you to take another look over this week's readings And as always, I'm here to answer any questions that you may have as well.